Hey everybody! I don't know if you're on yet, but we're going to start. I am not a person who likes to be late at all, which makes marriage very interesting. So today what we're going to do is we're going to talk about sugar. Yay, sugar. We're going to talk about sugar in that our bodies, everybody likes to have this discussion about powdered sugar, white sugar, honey, agave, nectar, it's better for you. My body processes honey differently than it does granulated sugar. Well, guess what? Our bodies process sugar as sugar. Doesn't matter what it is. It's sugar. Your body will process sugar. But I did find out some very interesting things about that. There's other health aspects to like honey and pure maple syrup than what there is to granulated sugar. I, of course, don't like to eat a lot of processed stuff. So I always tend towards more of the raw honey, like the honey that Jay and I and our bee partners collect. And that is because I just like the raw honey better. We don't use any chemicals when we don't do any smoking. So again, there's nothing additional or broken down. But again, our bodies process sugar as sugar. It doesn't make a difference if it's pure maple syrup or if it's agave nectar. Sugar is sugar, and your body uses sugar. It's just sugar to your body. Of course, when you start talking about things like apples and fruit and the sugars from those fruits, it's very interesting because yes, that's sugar, but like with an apple, that extra fiber that it has in there helps balance your blood sugar a little bit more because that fiber helps in other areas. So yes, sugar is sugar, but yet you have to know how your body functions and what is the best thing for you. But here's some really interesting facts. Okay, talking about sugar, all right? Hey! So sugar. 1 teaspoon of honey has 5.6 grams of carbohydrates. Because carbs, of course, everybody's, aware of these carbs. They're not very nice things. So honey, it has just a single ingredient, it's just honey. It's carbs 5.6. Granulated sugar is only 4.2. Hey, Gail! 4.2 grams of carbs. So while granulated sugar is less carbs than raw honey, it's still, you have to figure out what you find best for your body. So pure maple syrup. Hey, how you doing? Pure maple syrup has a carb count of 11.5 in 1 teaspoon. Of course, again, pure maple syrup is just straight from the tree. I think there's not a whole lot of heat process to it, but they strain it much like we strain our honey, just get the parts out and stuff.
They boil it down.
They probably boil it down, but again, it's high in carbs. If you haven't tried this monk fruit sweetener, it's very interesting. It's really, really sweet, and I find it funny because on the outside of the bag, the monk fruit sweetener says, yes, beet sugar is, where I come from in my family roots of North Dakota, beet root sugar is basically just granulated sugar. But we can also watch that. Minnesota, hey, Minnesota's on. But the monk fruit sweetener I found are really, really sweet. Now, I have been using that in a lot of stuff. Oh, there's the wife of a birthday boy just recently. Hey, Steph, how's the little one? So this monk fruit sweetener cracks me up. This is what makes me laugh. The outside of the front of the bag says it's totally carb net 0. On the back of the bag, when you look at the nutrient thing, it's got 4 carbs in it. So how can the front of the bag say it's 0 carbs and in the back of the bag it tells you it's 4 carbs, which again, 4 carbs is the same as regular sugar. So again, how does your body break down different sugar? What do you really want to put in there? Something else that's very interesting. Now remember, we said that maple syrup, 1 teaspoon is 11.5 grams of carbs. However, no, I'm sorry, 13 carbs. It's 11 sugars. 13 carbs in pure maple syrup. Powdered sugar only has, 1 teaspoon of powdered sugar only has 2.6 grams of carbs. So if you're going to use carbs or sugar, which one do you want to grab? Brown sugar only has 4 carbs in 1 teaspoon. So again, sugar is very interesting. But the things we're going to make today are really quick, well, 2 of them are really, one of them is really quick, okay? Let's just be honest. We're going to do a dairy-free ice cream. It's a mango ice cream. It almost comes out like it's a sorbet, and it's really simple. It's 3 ingredients. It is 3 cups of frozen mango. And you do it in a blender. So you don't need an ice cream maker. You don't need anything fancy. You can do it. Oh, Michelle, Todd, oh my gosh, hey! So here we have 3 cups of mangoes. Into the blender. Now the one thing with this, and I'm a sloppy cook, as you notice, I already dropped a mango on the floor, poor thing. Again, no fancy machines. It's just a blender. But what we're going to do is we're going to sweeten this one with the maple syrup. It seems to be the highest in carbs, I know, but what we're going to do is we're going to do 1 tablespoon of pure maple syrup. Not the generic high sugar, high fructose corn syrup. We're just going to use real pure maple syrup. Just 1 tablespoon. Now this, because it doesn't have the dairy in it, and it's basically just fruit, 1 tablespoon of sweetener, and then coconut milk. I'm going to use coconut milk. When you freeze this, it gets really hard. So you want to, before you eat it, take it out of the freezer. And leave it set for a good 20 minutes, maybe even 30, so that it's kind of scoopable. Kind of like I'm going to do with something else right now. That's for later, I'll tell you about it. But this recipe would make really good popsicles. If you've got that popsicle thing, what you saying, Jennifer? Ooh, lemon bars, yeah. I love lemon, by the way, thank you. This mango thing would be really good if you put it in like popsicle containers. Now this is 1 can of unsweetened coconut milk. That's all we're putting in here. Those 3 ingredients. That's it. Now, I like this too, and what we're going to do with this is not only can you just put it in a container, put it in the freezer, you can, and then freeze it so it's hard and scoopable. You can also, popsicles, put it in ice cube containers, pop that in the freezer, and then you can use it for like chicken, mango chutney, you can toss it in with a barbecue thing, you can fry up chicken with it, you do all kinds of interesting things with it. Alright, so now we're going to make some noise. Just pulse it up to start with. I'm going to leave this one a little chunky. Again, what you can do is, I'll put it in, I'm going to put some of it in the ice cream shaker because ice cream things, what you can do then is add that not only to like chicken and rice and all these other kind of things that you're tossing together, but you put it in this ice cream or in the ice cube trays, and you can take a cup out and add it to a smoothie. It's really fun stuff. Make it as smooth or as chunky as you like your ice cream with fruit. Again, 3 ingredients we have here, and that's it. Now, even just as soft serve ice cream, this comes out like this. It's really, really good just as that. I mean, if you can see that, as I put it in this container. I've done this for a dinner party, and they just loved it. They couldn't believe that it was dairy free. It's paleo. See, what I'm going to do is just fill up an ice cream tray. With this. And then what we'll do is I'm going to freeze it, and I'm going to use it in who knows what. Either a chicken dish or smoothies. But again, this would be great, especially with the summer coming up, for popsicles. If you have that popsicle container, I would do popsicles because it does freeze really, really hard. And, alright, that's good for that. That we're going to put in the freezer. But as you can see, look at the texture on that. Just from, if Jay can zoom in a little bit, or get you closer. But I mean, if you take a look at that texture, it's very creamy. I was surprised with coconut milk how creamy this came out. And just rather decadent. And it makes that much, I mean, I filled that ice cream tray up. Nice bits of mango. And I got this much ice cream, and there's only 1 tablespoon in the whole shebang of pure maple syrup. As we know from the earlier research, is only 13 carbs, 11 grams of sugar. But that's in all of that. You're not going to eat the whole thing, right? You're not going to eat the... Hey, Dober! Oh my God! How are you? Yes, I look like Grandma. Can you tell? Yes. I also talk like Grandma, and I do cook like Grandma. So, yeah, my cousin, Duber, his real name is Noel, but we always called him Duber when he was a little kid. He's adorable, and he's fabulous, and he's wonderful. So, yay for Duber's on. So that's all there is to that 3-ingredient ice cream. Totally vegan, and it's really good. I was so surprised when I tried this. It was really, really good. All right, so that's the noisy part, the noisy one, and that's it. That's all there is to it. Freeze it, pull it out. You'll have a great time with it. Sure, if you don't like mango, it's wonderful. Pineapple, do it with pineapple. You'll love pineapple. Do it with any kind of fruit that you like. Again, if you're watching your carbs and your sugars, pick your fruit smartly. You'll be okay. The other things I wanted to make and talk about real quick when we're talking about just wanting to kind of splurge a little bit, but yet trying to stay within if you're eating keto or you're trying to stay vegetarian or vegan or dairy-free, like we just did the dairy-free ice cream. What can I do to have something fabulous? Well, how about a gluten-free almond honey cake? I'm telling you, it's really interesting. And you can't, nope, that's the ice cream recipe. See, I'm getting ahead of myself. All right, here's the honey almond. This is totally gluten-free, and the whole big cake only has a half a cup of honey. Hey, Beth. Okay, I'm wearing my pink earrings now, just in case anybody wants to check these out. My sister made them. They're called triplets. I guess when I see Beth, I get excited. Oh, I look pretty. Thank you. I think I look fat, but that's okay. All right, so flourless cake. We're going to do flourless cake. Again, it only has a half a cup of sugar. That's it. Gluten-free, half a cup of sugar, a half a cup of honey. So, and of course, I'm using our honey. Yay, us. So here we go. Separating eggs. You know, I used to be able to, when I'm really practiced, I can do this egg where, you know, just the one-handed thing. I don't always trust myself anymore. So anyway, and I've got 3 bowls. 1 for the whites, 1 for the yolks, and 1 in case I screw up. Now these are room temperature eggs. When you're working with eggs and you're going to be whipping the egg white because you want that as your leavening, you're going to want room temperature eggs. And that is because the protein is more relaxed and you can get a higher volume on them. When that protein is relaxed, it's going to take in more air. And that's why we're doing room temperature eggs. So I'm just doing this shuttle back and forth idea. And we're going, and I messed up an egg. So anyway, we're gonna set this egg somewhere else. Jay, could you get me another egg? Alright, so that egg is going to be an omelet egg for later. Sorry, everybody. Okay. So I don't know if any of our Food Network star people ever mess up an egg, but I did. You know, the TV stars normally, I would think, have a lot of people doing their prep, so they don't have this problem with the eggs. Ha, there we go. That one I didn't screw up. But I did just screw that egg up. Now, that'll be very interesting when we go to whip it if we're going to get a lot of volume out of it, because that one's cold. But with 3 nice room temperature eggs, see, my niece and my husband would not, well, I'm really not doing great with these eggs today. So that's another one. Oh, and that even has a shell in it. That's the crunchy part for later, right? All right, so I will catch that yolk later. And I can't use this now because I got lots of yolk in there. All right. So really it is only a 15-minute program, but because I've screwed up so many eggs, who knows how long this is going to take. Hey, there's another cousin. Jeff, how you doing? See, I just told Duber's on, in case you didn't know. And I told Duber, don't I look like Grandma? You should see my driver's license picture, everybody. I look so much like my grandmother, it makes my brother cry. All right, back to the screwing up the eggs. All right, we're going for, I got to get 2 more eggs to get this gluten-free cake done.
Only 3. Never mind.
All right, and I'm actually going to use my hand, so a little chef trick, I guess. I don't know. All right, yay! I finally got the 3rd egg white in there. I'm so
That's
happy.
only 2 egg whites.
Oh, I only have 2 egg whites in there, Jay?
Yeah, your first attempt, your first egg was in the bowl and you didn't pour it in there.
Okay, so this is my first egg. I did okay, didn't I?
No, your first egg you didn't pour. You filtered it just fine, but you didn't pour it in the bowl.
Where did I pour it? Oh, it was in there?
Yeah.
Oh, shoot. All right, well, we're going to have omelets here at my place quite a bit tonight. That's what's for dinner, Jay, is omelets, because that means I dumped the other white in there, so I am short an egg white. But I promise the omelets will be really good, you guys, because it's going to have an extra yolk. Because I only need 4 egg yolks and 4 egg whites for this cake. So here's our, and I do, not only do I look like Grandma, all my cousins out there and everybody, because I know how much everybody really wants to know about my family, I'm messy like Grandma was too. My thing is, though, I'm messy like my grandmother, but I don't have my grandfather to clean up after me like my grandma did. Jade does a lot of things, but he does not like to do dishes, let me tell you that. All right, so after all that mess, back onto the track of trying to get this flourless cake done. It is actually pretty easy. Okay, so we're going to leave the egg whites set over there. I don't have a power here on this part of the kitchen, so I actually have to take this over there, and you get to come with me to whip this up. Actually, the other thing you guys are going to find really funny, okay, because you know, all of you know how much I like to cook. I don't care how close we're not. You all know I like to cook. When we moved into this apartment, okay, so start by just whisking up these egg yolks. If you have an electric mixer, use the electric mixer. I don't. When we sold the house and we moved and stuff, it was hilarious because I had a hand mixer. Well, about a month ago, the hand mixer bit the big one. All right, so what we're going to do in these 4 egg yolks, we're going to add the honey. And remember, this whole thing only has a half a cup of honey. We're going to add the half a cup of honey, salt, baking soda, and vanilla. Now this vanilla, because of the exciting quarantine times that we're in, it's hilarious, is half vanilla and half almond extract, which is okay because this is an almond honey cake, so why not have almond extract in it? But anyway, back to the whole story about how I don't have a hand mixer anymore, an electric hand mixer, nor do I have my KitchenAid. I used to have, when we had the house, there was 3 KitchenAids. Believe this or not, we had 3 KitchenAids in the house when we had the house. When my sister was living with us and my mom, all 3 of us ladies had a KitchenAid. Well, when we went to go start selling the house and stuff, now I'm just mixing this by hand with my little whisk. Again, if you've got a paddle attachment, go for it. If you've got an electric mixer, we're just really looking to get this nice and smooth and not real aerated, but aerated, you know, enough where it's thick and kind of pale. So anyway, so we sell the house, my sister moves, she takes her KitchenAid with us, okay? Oh, hey! Then Mom says, you know what? She's not a cook. My mom is not a cook. She did not get my grandmother's type. That's me and my Aunt Karen. We like to cook. My mother, she'll get by. So Mom says, why don't you take my little KitchenAid? And I'm like, well, cool. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to sell my great big KitchenAid. So anyway, for all of you who are joining us, we're making a gluten-free honey almond cake. We've been talking about sugar and all that kind of stuff. We've already done a dairy-free mango ice cream. So anyway, I've got this mixed up, and as you can see, it's kind of just a nice, smooth, pale type egg yolk. It's helping me work the fat out of my arm. Okay. It's funny, you'd think I'd be thinner, but I'm not. So I sold, anyway, here's the story. I ended up selling the big KitchenAid, my KitchenAid, when we were getting rid of the house. I'm not going to need 2 KitchenAids. Mom doesn't want hers. I'll keep the little one, sell the big one, because I can get more money for it, right? So we get to the apartment. Now what I'm doing is I'm adding, how much is this? It is 1 3/4 cup of ground almonds. Now I have toasted this almond flour. I like toasting my almond flour because it just makes a better tasting whatever we're making. It brings out that flavor, gives it a roasted flavor, which is awesome. So anyway, now this is going to get kind of thick, so you really kind of want to work it. So anyway, we get to the apartment. We get moved in. I'm messing with the little KitchenAid. It's broken. I gotta get rid of it. I can't use it. So now I have no KitchenAid, no electric mixer, and then I had a wand blender. If you guys are into cooking, you know the wand blender. All right, so I'm just gonna really beat this real good right now. Anyway, I love my wand blender. My brother bought me my wand blender. I used it all the time, and it broke before my hand mixer about a month ago. So about 5 weeks ago, I lost my wand mixer. So yeah, I have less mixing things. It's hilarious.
We just haven't been able to shop to get it replaced.
All right, so what I'm going to do is I got this mixed up. It's nice and smooth. You want that smooth. It's got the almond flour now in there, the roasted almond flour. And that is a done deal. Now, all that's left to do with this, I have to make sure I wasn't ahead of myself, but that's for the ice cream. The only thing left to do is whip these egg whites. That's it. We're going to whip the egg whites. Now, the recipe that I'm using says, and I'm not going to do the egg whites by hand. The one thing I do have is this whisk attachment to the motor part of my wand blender. So we're going to use that. And it's not super noisy, but it's noisy enough. I'm going to try to talk a little louder. And I'm hoping you can hear me over that. Now, normally you would want to, whenever you're dealing with egg whites, immediately you think, oh, I'm going to whip them to a stiff peak. This recipe says not a stiff peak. They just want it like fluffy and double size. I struggle with the fluffy double size. I'm not going to whip it till it's stiff. I'm going to whip it until it's right before stiff. A decent whipped cream consistency. And we're actually almost there. This thing is really cool. I did, it's for funny story, I did actually whip, the first time I made the keto ice cream, which we're going to make next, the first time I made that, I actually whipped the cream by hand. It was hilarious. I thought, oh my God, I'm going to die, but I didn't die. Hey, Michelle! Can you believe we've been out of high school as long as we have? I can't. So see, now this is not going to hold a peak at all, but it's pretty fluffy. Hasn't taken that long. It probably would have been better had I not screwed the eggs up, and we actually would have. But I'm not going to whip it till stiff pink. But it's pretty close. No, I can't use that spatula. I have to use this spatula. Okay. So now all we have to do, see, I'm getting so ahead of myself, getting so excited to see all you guys. Actually, I kind of like this quarantine, I have to tell you. I love people, but yet, there's just those days, most days. I'd rather just, visit with you on the phone some days. So, yes, I'm a people person, but I have really been enjoying this quarantine thing. I don't know. Working from home, I love it. I feel like I'm more productive. And I don't have to do as much laundry. Because, yeah, I do tend to wear a lot of sweatpants. But look, I actually put on makeup for you guys. Can you believe it? And I did my hair. I did last week, too. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to gently incorporate these egg whites. This is what we're going to get the crumb or the cake structure is from the egg whites. So it always baffles me in this recipe why they don't want you to whip it to a stiff peak. But because you don't have a regular flour and you're dealing with almond flour, I guess I get it. All right. So what I did here is I just incorporated a little bit of the egg white. And if you could see this, when you go to make this yourself, you're going to notice it. And why I whip this longer than I do other egg whites than what the recipe says is because you still have actual water down here. Hey, Lori, another cousin, yeah. And part of that is because some of those egg whites were cold, so it didn't relax enough to get the volume out of there. So here we are, we're just kind of gently incorporating now. I have washed my fingers, as you guys have seen, so I'm going to kind of scrape. I don't know how these TV stars do this. They're always, like it perfect on their spatula. Crack me up. There's no way in life that when you're baking this, that it's going to fall perfectly off your spatula. It's kind of like things I hate are, I'm the kind of person that just give it to me straight. Don't sugarcoat all this garbage to me. You got something to say it. I'll get over it. Who cares? I would rather just have it straight up and we can move on. So it's kind of like I like my preaching. I want to hear, just give it to me. Don't be sugarcoating it. So it's kind of like the reality cooks, the TV cooks. And if anybody ever watches this, they're probably going to hate me, but I don't care. There's no way when you scrape a bowl, when I'm watching you and you're on TV, you're not scraping a bowl. You just kind of pour it off and you leave half the cake batter in the bowl. Anyway, here we are. Now I'm not pouring this from a great height. Again, I'm right down in the bowl. This is a prepared spring form pan, 9-inch. I sprayed it. I put a piece of parchment paper in the bottom and I sprayed it again. Again, if you don't want to use spray because of chemical or other kind of things that you're concerned about health-wise, rub some butter in there. Use ghee. Get your fingers in there. Some of you young girls have never had to do the old cake pan way where you take a big thing of shortening and you bop it in there and you rub it around like crazy, and then you pour flour and you shake it around and you dump the flour out. Yeah, that's interesting. All right, so now we're just going to put this in a 350 degree oven. My oven here runs hot. The recipe says for like 25 to 30 minutes. I'll tell you what, for me, I set it for 20 minutes because it just runs way too hot. All right, so that's that. And we're going to leave that in there, but the exciting part, are you ready for this? Who have I missed? Hey! The exciting part is I made one earlier. The magics of TV. Whoa. And there it is. Nice and golden brown. It does look smaller than what you're thinking a cake is supposed to be, because we're used to full gluten cakes, rise like this, all this baking powder, baking soda. Remember, this only has 1 3/4 cups of ground almond flour. It only has a 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda in it. So everything is coming from the egg white. That's it. Now to finish this off, you want to decorate it nice. Now this doesn't have any cinnamon in it. Now it doesn't have anything else. It's just almond and raw honey from Arby's. Yes, yes. So if you're going to serve this, just take a teaspoon or 2 of honey. Of course, I've got the thicker honey right now. And just kind of drizzle it. When you buy our honey has a little bit too much water in. We kind of harvested a little early this year. And so it's a little bit on the thick kind of crystal, not really crystal. But I'm got some that I've gently warmed. My bee partner, who is so smart, we warm it in a yogurt maker in its jar to kind of decrystallize anything. Again, we don't raise the temperature above 120, so it still keeps all the nutrients that you're used to. Oh, you'll have a piece, yeah. And you have had a piece of this, Beth. I've made this for you guys. This is just some roasted slivered almonds. Again, I always roast my nuts. Sorry, guys. Do roast my nuts. Because it just makes them crunchier. The texture is amazing. And then, voila, there you go. It is quite fun. Now you can serve this with fruit. You can sprinkle some cinnamon on it. I'll sprinkle a little cinnamon on the one side. Gives you that kind of baklava feeling to it. If you don't know what baklava is, you're missing it. Good stuff. Again, this is gluten-free. It is gluten-free. You can serve it with some of that non-dairy ice cream or some of that keto ice cream that we have, which will take me just a moment, and we'll get into that keto ice cream. So here is just a small piece. And instead of me trying it, I'm going to have Jay try it so you guys can see it. But you can take a look at that crumb. It actually is pretty darn good. All right, so I'm going to take this, and I'm going to flop it around, and Jay's going to take a bite. He doesn't want to, but I'm going to make him do it. So how does that work? Like this. There's Jay.
Yeah.
So go ahead and try that and tell us what you think. He's had my normal before, but, you guys want to see his facial expression. See? Oh, it's too funny.
It's just like it always is. It's good.
Yay! Okay, so anyway, that was fun putting Jay on the spot. So, but that's it. It is just way too... Hey, David! Love you, man! How's Chicago? All right. Keto ice cream. Keto. Everybody's keto. I'm not sure what that is, so I'm not going to lick it. Which is unusual. Normally I would. Just to figure out what it is. This keto ice cream is so easy. You guys are, if you're on keto, you're going to be want to playing with this. This is so good. Now, the original recipe is a cookies and cream keto ice cream, but I didn't really like the cookie part to it. I thought it was kind of bleh. By the way, your Aunt Gail says it was good to see you. Did you see that ponytail he's sporting? But anyway, I don't like the cookie part. So, and to just have the vanilla ice cream is a little bit boring. So you want to add something to it, like a sugar-free like chocolate chip, because they are out there on the market and they're pretty good. But what I did is I added a sugar-free peanut butter to it. I came across this peanut butter by accident. It is an organic, no sugar, no salt added peanut butter. And once you open it, you do have to refrigerate it, but it still keeps this creamy texture, even though it gets kind of, firm in the fridge. It still keeps a creamy thing. So we're going to do this ice cream, and then we're going to call it good, because I've kept you guys way longer than I really wanted to. All right, so ice cream. I've got to kind of rinse out the beater from the egg white, sorry. So you have to see my backside. Nothing exciting there. Okay. This keto ice cream has got 1, 2, 3, 4 ingredients. That's it. Cream, almond milk, a sweetener, and vanilla. Now, I, of course, added a half a cup of peanut butter, so it would be peanut butter ice cream, of course. Now, all we do is we take two and a half cups of ice cream, or 2.5 cups of cream. Cold cream. That's it. We're just going to take this. Now, this recipe does say to use an ice cream maker if you've got one. I do. Of course, I don't have a mixer or a blender or a KitchenAid, but I have an ice cream maker. Isn't that just a little too funny? But what we have to do is we have to whip the cream first. Sit. We're going to be going over back to the blender. Again, we have to go to that side of the kitchen because I don't have electricity on this side. We're going to whip this cream. We're going to incorporate the sweetener in the extract, and then fold in the peanut butter and run it in the ice cream maker. That's what those are called. Now, with this recipe, of course, being keto, it says to use, Exitol or whatever. I'm going to use monk fruit sweetener. Again, you could use that maple syrup if you wanted. You could use powdered sugar. And what I did is, because I don't really like total pure monk fruit or Exitol or whatever that is, what I do is I do half monk fruit and half powdered sugar. Because as we learned at the beginning of the program, powdered sugar has half the carbs of any of it. And again, you're not looking for something super sweet, because if you've been on some of these diets, super sweet, you're going to go, ugh, you're not going to like it anyway. So I use half monk fruit, half powdered sugar. With the whipped cream now in this recipe, you want to get it to 6 feet, because you're going to be incorporating that almond milk and that peanut butter for my recipe anyway. And we're actually almost there. Again, if you've got a stand mixer, a KitchenAid, or some kind of stand mixer, you'd be already done on the heavy with yours. Of course, mine doesn't work anyway. So I'm going to get this to a medium peak. I'm going to put that sweetener in and that extract. Alright, we're going to go for and again, as you can see, I am a sloppy cook. Right, dear cousins of mine out there, just like Grandma. What can I say? See, you can tell if you have a close-up shot that this is part powdered sugar and that's the monk fruit sweetener. I just find, they say that the monk fruit sweetener that, they want you to use is like a 1-to-1 ratio with sugar, that you can do a total replacement. I find it's way too sweet. But again, that's me, not you. Whatever works. You've got to learn what works for your body. Yeah, we're almost at stiff peak already. All right, and we are at stiff peak. I'm going to fold in. Now, like I said, I found the vanilla, just plain vanilla, boring. And if you, at this point, you should taste it. Hey, Charity, taste it and see if it's sweet enough for you. See, to me, this is absolutely fine. But what this is this is a half a cup of that organic peanut butter. And what I did is I mixed it with the half a cup of almond milk this recipe calls for. And see how nice and creamy that is? So that you've got peanut butter ice cream. And I gotta tell you, it's good. Again, go for that. You like Reese's peanut butter cups? Make this ice cream. Find those sugar-free chocolate chips. Mix that in there. After you run this through the ice cream machine, and as you're taking it out, fold in those chocolate chips. And there we go. Now all we have to do is take this and put it into the ice cream machine, which I'm not going to put you guys through that. What we're going to do, we're going to be wrapping it up. I'll run that through the ice cream machine after I let you go. But here it is. Now what happened to me was this. I made this just last night or 2 nights ago. Can't remember which, sorry. And what happened was I was having trouble with my fridge. And my cylinder that I pour the ice cream into to make it go around, hey Rose, how's retirement? It didn't freeze it hard enough. And the ice cream did not get as much air or as creamy as what it should have. But here, I'm still going to show it to you. And this is the first time. Jay hasn't tasted this yet.
Why?
But I won't make him do it on camera. But see, here it is. It's ice cream. You can see that. And this is a keto ice cream. Jay loves peanut butter just as much as I do, so taste it. Let me know what you think. I love peanut butter. Hey, Sarah, Wonder Woman, you. This is the keto peanut butter ice cream. We just made it. What do you think, Jay?
It's peanut butter.
It's peanut butter. Again, because my cylinder wasn't super cold, it was not, it's not quite as smooth as what it should be, but it's still very smooth, very creamy. It's absolutely amazing. And let me grab that recipe and tell you what the carbs are on that. All right, the carbs on the keto ice cream. Now this includes their cookie recipe mixed in with it. And like I said, I don't like their cookie recipe that they had on it. They say that this container is 10 servings. So that's a pretty good serving. And it has 3 net grams of carbs. So if you're doing the keto,
But your peanut butter.
you're gonna, of course, the peanut butter is sugar-free, so it doesn't add any carb to it.
Okay.
So that you can have an ice cream. Now, of course, like I said, that one does take a special, an ice cream maker to churn it in, but it's okay. Can't wait. Ha! Yeah, yeah, you'll get a kick out of the replay, Charity. Trust me. I had a few other things, but you know what? We have been on quite a while. Exciting stuff. And sugar. Talking about sugar and just doing a couple diet type of desserts, but yet You can either have them on a Weight Watchers, you can have them however you're trying to eat. Gluten free, dairy free, it all works no matter what you're doing. You just have to figure out what you really like, how your body functions with stuff, and what you really want to do. So with that, I'm going to say au revoir. And sorry about all the egg breaking and the mess. So anyway, at least Jay knows he's going to have an omelet for dinner, right? And of course, a lot of flourless honey almond cake. So yeah, if anybody's driving by, you know, I could always throw one at you in a container if you're in the area. So you guys be safe, be healthy. I love y'all. It was good to see you. Next week, I think what we're going to do, are you ready for this? I think we're going to do garlic chicken. I have a recipe I've really, really wanted to try. It's got like 40 cloves of garlic and lots of chicken. So yeah, Rose, you'll want to watch the egg breaking. It was hilarious. I can't believe I screwed up so many eggs. But I'm thinking about garlic chicken. It's an Elton Brown recipe, and he is my favorite people. I don't freak out when I meet like football players or anything, you know, here in Green Bay or, you know, stars or anything like that. I don't really freak out. But if Elton Brown walked up to me on the street or I ran into him in a grocery store, I would be a teenage girl all over again. I would be like, ah! Anyway, okay. Everybody, it was great to see you. Yes, Gary, I'm really excited about the recipe, and I haven't done it. So we'd be our guinea pigs together. So anyway, love you all. Have a very safe time. God bless you. Behave, maybe, kind of, at least a little bit. And I'll talk to you guys soon. Thanks. Bye.